I know you don't mean it to be so, but you have blood on your hands. You have a product. You have a product that's killing people.
Accusations, tears, and rants. Senators grilled a group of social media executives on Capitol Hill today about the risks their platforms pose to teens. Republicans and Democrats blasted the CEOs of TikTok, X, Meta, Snap, and Discord for not doing enough to keep kids safe. Senators singled out Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg for Instagram's lack of safety tools to protect young users from explicit content.
And Zuckerberg and the other executives told senators their companies are now already taking steps to protect minors. But the CEO of TikTok admits more can be done.
No system that any one of us can build is perfect. But what we need to do is to make sure that we are always improving it and testing it against bad people who may try to bypass it.
Well, still, senators say that's not enough, and they're calling on Congress to pass one of the several bipartisan bills proposed that would hold tech platforms more accountable. Some lawmakers say the reason those bills haven't passed Congress is because of big tech companies' oppositions.
Meanwhile, a debate over social media is heating up in South Carolina. Today, that state's lawmakers took up a bill to require parental permission for a child's social media account. As Queen City News anchor Derek Dellinger found out, the big question now is how to enforce it.
Right now, if you go to any social media site, they will ask you certain things, among them your birthday. That can often mean some differences in experiences or access, but if some South Carolina lawmakers have their way, and if you're someone or you know someone or care for someone who is under 18, you will need parent permission.
Well, I think, I have 3 young children. I don't want my daughter and my sons talking to people online that they don't know and that I don't know, for that matter.
State Representative Heath Sessions of York County is one of the sponsors and supporters of House Bill 4700. It would place regulations on social media sites operating in South Carolina, and especially those sites dealing with minors. Some of it is meant as protection, like limiting adults from talking to minors on social media. But minors would also need parental permission to sign up for any social media site.
It would be interesting to me to see exactly how they do that from a technical perspective. How does one go about proving who a minor's parents are from a technical perspective and verifying that?
Tom Blanchard is with Sterling Technology Solutions, and what he posed does not immediately have an answer. The legislation says websites should make commercially reasonable efforts to verify minor permission and suggests anything from a form to a phone call or video conference with a social media site to even giving a photo ID of the parent to verify it, and that the law says would be immediately deleted.
Does that therefore mean the social media companies are taking on liability? That's an interesting question. I'm curious to see how they're going to do it.
There is a universal consensus among those we spoke with and those who have commented on the bill. Children do need to be protected online. But there is a big fear if this bill becomes law that it could result in the entire state of South Carolina being blocked from social media, so those sites don't have to deal with the law.
If you're a minor, you should have to have parental consent if you want to be on social media.
The bill passed second reading Wednesday, only one voting against. State Representative Justin Bamberg objecting on legal grounds.
How, and this is a real legal question, how is any social media company supposed to verify the age of a minor or get parental consent for a minor without first having to also verify the age of people who represent themselves to that company as adults?
And this is just another way to protect our kids, and that's a nonpartisan issue.
And an issue that more places are likely to take up. In York County, Derek Dellinger, Queen City News.